Okay. So, Wakefield is a school for all who study magic and everything in between. The gates are opening for a new generation of students, and it's time to tell their tale. Welcome to Wakefield, freshmen, and welcome to the Evers Spellbound. A minute of overture here. Oh no, the music stopped playing for that. Kind of sad about that. Hold on. One moment, please, as we conjure up some magic.
Magical tech support, how may we help you?
Right, seriously.
What professor would that be? Let's see.
There we go. Oh, get this. That's good. Get
I
that.
already have chills.
I need to make sure that that's pulled up. I need it. Like I said, I need a new screen to have pulled documents. But anyways, let us begin. Oh, I have too many tabs up. Sorry. Okay. There you are. My spell is a little fuzzy, but at least it's working. My name is Albert Wakefield, the founder of Wakefield University. Though I am no longer around to see your academic achievements, having been perished to Dragonfire over 500 years ago, I have manifested myself for just long enough to help you on your way to become the best mage of all time. Over the next few years, you'll be taking academic classes, taking exams, making new friends, and unlocking the secrets of the weave. But just like any other school, one must be prepared with not just their mind, but with their supplies as well. So with that, our story begins this day before the autumnal moon, where you have found yourselves preparing for an exciting new year at Wakefield in the charming village of Esther Hollow. Let me take you there now. Now, how about you tell me about what you're doing, what supplies you've bought, what you look like, and describe what's happening on this exciting day. Maristela, why don't you start us off?
Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'm a little bit tan, like from the sun, and I have bleached blonde hair that looks like it's a little rough around the edges because it's used to some salt water. She kind of is stumbling a little bit because she's not quite used to her sea legs yet, or I should say land legs yet. And she has her uniform on, and she has a book of how to be human, basically, in front of her. And she has a wand that looks like so, that has a shell at the end of it. And she has a toad named King.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, Elizie, Miss Phoenix, how about you?
Yes, I am Elizie Phoenix. My hair is a magenta pink color. I wish that my lover would have come with me on this grand adventure to learn more here at Wakefield University. And my familiar is a gray Maine Coon named Loki.
Nice, nice. Perhaps Miss Rose, Cadence.
Right. My name is Cadence. I am a halfling, so I'm only about a little less than 3 feet tall. And I come from Summerelm Shire. Obviously, my parents were halflings, and so I came from one of our villages. And I have real dark, short hair, and I am here to study potions and alchemy. Oh, and this little blue crow on my shoulder is Corva. She's my best friend.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Kova. Now, perhaps Ingrid. Miss Alvarez, is it?
Mhm.
Tell me more about yourself and what you've been doing.
I am the typical university student. There's nothing really special about me. I enjoy school and I enjoy learning, and I'm here to just further my knowledge and education.
Wonderful to hear. Now, last but not least, Vance, Maeve.
Hello, all. My name is Maeve. I am here to hopefully strengthen my knowledge and skill of charms. I am highly interested in history, and because of that, I have named the dear white python on my shoulders Eden, after one of the first civilizations here in Everas. Oh, what else about me? Well, I'm a Tonalia. I am 20 years old, and I hail from Hollowroot.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on your newest acceptance to Wakefield University. It is a proud and prestigious school that teaches all magical arts and the sciences that follow. Now, it is wonderful to hear that you've gathered all your supplies and spent a long time gathering them, but unfortunately for you all, time has slipped away. Things couldn't be worse. After stuffing your trunk full of supplies, putting on your new uniform, and saying your goodbyes to your loved ones, you have found yourself in the middle of a large forest, lost. The sun started to set over half an hour ago, and your stomach is growling just thinking about the delicious feast you've heard so much about awaiting inside. You want nothing more than to dine on delicious roast and potatoes, meet your fellow peers over some hot honeymead, and curl up in your goose feather bed before starting your first year at Wakefield. But all of that feels like a dream that that started to fade away as you wind your way through this dense forest. A lonely owl screeches in the distance that makes you quicken your step. Hopefully, just around the next bend, you'll see the sprawling campus grounds lit up by the glowing fires inside. Unfortunately, however, you all come across another long pathway in the dark with twisted branches and a low mist clinging to the ground. Suddenly, you hear the crunching of dead leaves from behind you and notice that someone is approaching, and by the sound of it, rather quickly. As the mist fades, you realize that you're not the only one stuck out here in the middle of the forest with no sense of direction, as four other figures dressed in the same maroon and navy robes approach you. What do you all do?
Maristela is going to hold her hands up and be like, "Who goes there?"
Oh, don't worry. It looks like they're running school colors. They must be our fellow classmates.
They have to be.
Yeah,
We
but
should
have
ask
you
them
ever
who
heard of
they are.
bullies? Hey, are you guys students too?
No, this is the four of you all meeting together.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Are you a friend or foe? Are you going to bully me? Are you going to do naughty things? I read about bullies and I don't want to bully.
I'm not
Fair.
here to bully. I don't know about anybody else.
Oh, definitely not to bully. Uh, are you okay? You seemed a little anxious.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I think I'm lost. I'm not used to the land.
Are you guys all first years? Does anyone know how to get to the school from here?
Sadly, this is my
Mm,
first year.
I don't really know where it is, but I'm sure it's right up ahead. I mean, I've walked through woods before. This isn't too bad.
Maybe if we just follow this path, we can find the school.
You know, I would have thought that there would be a better way to get to the school from
The hollow.
the
Yeah.
hollow.
Well, I mean, you with the horns. I mean, your suggestion makes sense. We might as well follow the path.
We should do it then. And I'm Elizie, by the way.
Hi, I'm Cadence.
Nice to meet you. What's your guys' name?
I'm Maristela.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Maeve.
Hi.
Ingrid.
Nice to meet you guys. We should take the path.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't make sense to walk any other direction.
As though winter came early, a sudden chill blows through the forest, stirring up the misty ground. It's a forceful gust, accompanied by a low wailing sound that travels with it. The feeling of being watched comes to mind.
What was that? Was it a banshee? I think it was just the wind. Does it seem like it's getting colder and darker?
Well, I fear that the sun is going down. I've read up on Wakefield, and this forest usually shouldn't be traveled at night.
Why? What did you read?
It's just some nocturnal animals come out.
Scary ones.
We should definitely hurry to the castle in that case.
Right, but was it that way? Or was it that way?
I'm sure it was that way.
Right. I'm confused.
Roll a perception check, Elizie and Cadence.
Is that a D6?
It's going to be a d20, and you'll add your perception modifier. Good dice. Bad modifier. 15.
Ooh. 5. And hold please.
You're fine.
It'll be under your skills.
Thank you.
You'll see if like it has a plus or a minus.
It's the big box with like 20 things in it. All the little tiny skills, not your abilities.
Did he say deception or perception? Oh, there it is. It's plus
Perception.
2, so 7.
Okay. So, Elizie, you're a little lost in the forest, you know, kind of the mist that has grown around the pathway is harder to see. But Cadence, you're used to the forest, so you decide to head forward down the path, where eventually you round a bend. The old wrought iron gates covered in ivy separates you from your warm bed. In twisted writing above it, Wakefield is spelled out. 2 dragons flank either side of the gate, where stone pillars rise into the night sky. On the other side is a tall bricked fence that extends into the forest and surrounds the grounds of the school. The gate is locked. There's no way forward.
Oh,
Well,
were we late?
I don't think that we're late at all, but maybe we were.
Well, maybe there's another gate. Maybe we should go back through the woods, Maybe we're
Uh,
on the wrong side. That sounds
I
scary. Yeah,
I
I don't really
highly
want to
doubt that.
do that
This is the
either.
front gate. Maybe if we just push it open, and Maeve will walk up and attempt to push it open.
The gate is locked,
Oh,
iron
locked.
shut.
Okay.
Well, I
Is
mean, it looks like we could climb it. Well, does anybody have an unlocking spell? Like, I haven't learned it yet, but does anybody know it from, like, their elementary years? I know something that can lock gates and doors. I don't know if it can unlock a door, but maybe if I cast the spell and it locks it, then I could unlock it.
Hmm.
I don't know if it works that way.
No, neither do I. I think it's for locking only.
Stand back. Elio.
You feel the energy come out of your wand and it immediately rebounds off, where you see this glowing magic kind of reverberate, almost like a giant dome surrounding the school. You realize this to be wards of protection. No simple spell is going to unlock the school's gate.
Well, I tried.
No, I think that probably makes sense.
Maybe we should ask the dragons.
But we could just climb the gate.
But we should ask them.
They're statues.
But don't the statues talk here?
You're a little weird, you know that? In a good way.
I mean, you can climb it all you want, but I'm gonna ask the dragon. Mr. Dragon, are we late? Can you tell him and let us in?
Roll an investigation check.
Okay. $19.
As you approach the stone pillars, you see covered in ivy a stone placard that says Toctus al quato coren go obres al quien.
Tacos. I can't read that shit. Hold tight.
Great surface for rolling.
Tacos al cuatro corren vos ofreces alguien. Does anybody know what that means?
Do we happen to know what language that is?
When you speak those words out loud, you see glowing gemstones, 8 of them, 4 on either side of the gates, glow in the night.
Oh,
Maybe it has something to do with those gems.
What if we all recite it together?
That might work.
Okay, I guess we could do that.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. To Cadence
Tacos
al
al quado corren
corren.
go
obres al gen.
Jen.
Nothing happens.
I don't think that was the solve there. I think that has something to do with these gems on the side.
Okay.
Maybe the words are mixed up somehow, or I don't know.
Well, what if we just, I mean, maybe we have to mess with these, and Cadence is gonna go over and reach out, if she can reach, and touch one of the gems and kind of wiggle it and just mess with it.
They're too high up off the ground. They're about 6 feet.
Poop. Okay, well, maybe one of you should touch it.
That sounds like a very scary idea.
Okay. I'll touch the purple one.
Cool.
As when you go up and touch the purple one, it glows.
Oh,
Maybe we have to touch them in a certain pattern.
Maybe in the color of the rainbow?
Maybe the school colors.
Oh, that's clever. That's a good idea. Touch the red and the blue one.
The red and blue ones glow when you touch it.
Does the other pillar say anything different?
It says the same thing.
Okay.
maybe if we could all touch one?
Well, about that.
Yeah, you're a little on the short end. I don't know. I mean, I could put you on my back.
I mean, I could
Or-
probably reach it if I really stretch for it. I can't.
I have a hard trunk. You might be able to stand upon it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I
Here.
can climb pretty well.
What color would you like to touch?
I like the green one.
Right next to me. All right. And she sets it down and she makes sure that it's locked. And she holds out a hand to help you up.
All right, Cadence is gonna hop up onto the trunk and reach as high as she can on her tippy toes to touch the green stone.
As you touch the fourth gemstone, it glows, but then all four that you have previously touched altogether glow red and then fade away.
So that was the incorrect combination.
But
Uh,
purple, red, and blue stayed lit.
Miss Vance,
Yes.
roll a history check.
$18.
When you read over the words on either side of the pillar, you remember an old, ancient, archaic Avarian, and you spend a moment to translate it. And you roughly get touch the correct 4, and the gates will open.
Oh, wait. This is ancient Advarian, an old dead language. I'm surprised they still use it. But we have to touch the correct 4 gems and the gate will open. We just got to figure out which 4 they are.
How do you know Old Avarian?
I've seen words like that in the books I've read.
Oh, well, that's really cool. Okay, so now we just have to figure out which 4 to touch.
Well, I think it was smart to say that the colors of Wakefield, but there has to be something more to it.
Maybe.
There's houses.
I think that might be it.
Oh,
I agree with that.
well, what were the
So-
houses? Were they were black for first years,
Black,
white
White.
for silvermint, or no, blue for silvermint.
blue for Silvermint, white for Brond,
No, red for Bronhold, white
Bronhold.
for the other one,
Grand
Grand
Keep?
Keep.
Grandkeep.
So let's try those. But then we still need one more, right?
No,
Plus-
if we do black for first years.
Oh, okay.
But all of them, I mean, the white one looks kind of yellow, and there are technically 3 blue ones.
We just have to pick the correct blue. Silver mint. Mint means a greenish color. So maybe the turquoise.
But silvermint was okay. Sure. Mind scooting the trunk over a little?
Yeah. And she scoots the trunk over to the blue turquoise color one. I'll press the black one.
Cadence will hop up on the trunk and slap the turquoise one.
It glows.
Yeah.
I'll hit the white one.
You realize that there is no white gemstone.
That's true.
That's kind of yellow.
Okay, so then the red one.
The red one glows. Or it's actually orange.
Oh,
Well, the purple one worked last time. Ingrid's gonna touch the purple one.
It glows.
The black one?
You have 3.
It's
Black.
black, purple, and orange.
And turquoise.
Turquoise.
Okay. They all 4 of them glow, and then they turn red and then fade away.
So it can't be the houses. And the school colors aren't really here because there's only the blue. So it has to be something else. Could it be... There's 4 of us. What if it's all of our favorite colors? What if Wakefield knows?
You then count and realize that there's 5 of you.
Just kidding.
Wait. If I'm remembering correctly, there's different colors of dragons, and the school is based off of dragons. Can I remember what the colors of dragons are?
There's dozens of dragons.
Okay, never mind.
Um,
Oh, why is this so hard? I'm hungry. Come on, guys, we can do this. I don't even know you, but you've got to be smart.
Ingrid, roll an insight check.
$15.
So you peruse the wall and you look at the gemstones and you are able to decipher as you get closer to them. It's almost like they're calling out to you and telling you their names. In order, it's navy, yellow, orange, teal, green, or emerald, purple, blue, and black.
I don't know what that helps.
Should we put
You don't-
them in
Should
alphabetical
I?
order?
But it doesn't-
Knowing the names of the colors is important.
So, okay, so the colors are telling me it's navy. You said yellow.
Uh-huh. Orange, teal, emerald, purple, blue, and black.
Listen, you can talk faster than I can write. Navy, yellow, orange, teal, emerald,
Purple, blue, and black.
purple, blue, black. Wait a second. So yellow, purple, blue, and black and orange are all like general colors. Navy, teal, and emerald are specific colors. But what's the fourth one then? Navy, teal, emerald.
That there's not.
So
Emerald,
if names of the emeralds are important, why don't we try black, then blue, emerald, orange, purple, teal, yellow in that order?
But it's only 4. We only have to touch 4.
Yeah, and I don't think we can move them around. They're set in the stone. I'm pretty sure. But I like your train of thought, Ingrid. I feel like that's got to be it. So maybe it's like navy, emerald, navy, teal, emerald.
And don't forget, you guys can always ask to roll for certain types of checks.
I want to figure this out. What if it is all colors that have to do with Wakefield? Like, what if we've all kind of been right? Like, navy is one of Wakefield's colors, so I bet it's probably navy. And black for first year, blue.
What if the words like come together to mean something? I don't know.
NYOT.
Roll a straight wisdom check. Or not wisdom, intelligence.
Who?
Elizie.
Is that D20 again?
It's a D20. Yep.
Mhm.
And then if you have proficiency in wisdom or intelligence.
D20 for any skills or saving throws or actions, usually.
12 plus. Twelve plus 2, 14.
So you sit there and think about the names of the colors for a moment. And then something in your mind tells you that maybe the first letter of the colors is important.
Okay, guys, what if for the colors that are more gem names, navy, teal, emerald, what if just the first letters are important?
You mean
T-E,
so like to spell a word?
yeah, net.
We could spell bone. We could spell tone. We could spell yeet.
What is yeet?
You know, like yeet.
Could spell knob with no K.
And 2 B's. We could spell
Toy.
What if it spells a spell? The name of a spell?
Oh God, we're so dumb. Wait, no, there's no N. Never mind.
Yes, there is.
There's
For
an
navy.
N.
Maybe.
What
Oh,
are you thinking,
I thought there was
Maristela?
a V for some reason. Oh, so we need to spell open.
Open!
Alright, guys, so we need to hit those in order then.
So
Alright.
orange.
Purple.
The orange one glows, followed by purple.
I'm already on
Emerald.
the suitcase, so I'll
Emerald.
smack emerald.
The emerald glows,
Navy.
and the navy glows as well, turning green. As the grates creak open, the sudden warmth of the awe-inspiring castle takes over you. Tall towers and turrets reach up to the starry night as smoke rises from the many chimneys throughout campus. You see large buildings with more ivy-covered brick and stone in the distance, as well as a vast lake and enchanting gardens. But the feeling of belonging slowly disappears as you realize that you're very late, and you may have missed the welcoming feast for sure. You start to head towards the main campus, but you see someone in dark flowing robes strutting down the cobblestone path with wand lit. A sinking feeling washes over through your stomach. This is it. You haven't been on campus for more than 5 minutes and you're already going to be expelled.
Oh,
Ah, there you are, the man says, lowering his wand. He's a human man with dark hair and a few gray strands in it, as he wears a few gray strands in it. He wears an expensive-looking suit with a W emblem on the left side of his blazer. You've missed dinner and orientation. I'm afraid that I'll have to take you to the headmistress's office.
Oh no.
fish sticks.
It really wasn't our fault. Why did we have to walk through the woods to get here? And then when we did get here, the gate was locked.
It's amazing that all other students are able to get through the gates in the woods on time.
We're terribly sorry, Professor.
It's all right. Let me take you through campus. My name is Professor Kern. You follow Professor Kern through campus. I'll give you a quick map. As you start at the tops of the gates, as you follow the pathway down and around and up to the castle proper. You head through the halls and you hear the clanking of the feast from the main dining hall as students are well away feasting and dining and getting to know each other. She lives in the tallest tower on campus, and you make your way through the top before he opens the doors and it reveals to an ornate-looking office with window, chair, desk, and other objects from around the room. Statues and suits of armor, as well as a map of campus hang on the walls. You notice the dozens of books stacked high on shelves, brass magical instruments hung from the vaulted ceilings, as well as portraits of past headmasters hanging to the tops of the walls. Her desk sits at the back of the room with a grand stained glass window that has the Wakefield emblem emblazed onto it. It overlooks the lake below and forest beyond. The headmistress herself stands in a beautiful gown at the fireplace. Her hair is tight. Music today. Whatever. There we go. The headmistress herself stands in a beautiful gown at the fireplace. Her hair is tight, and a maroon witch's hat sits crooked on top of like a wedding cake. There's an air of sophistication about her, and a no-nonsense tone as well. She steps forward away from the fireplace, and a yellow glow illuminates her. Please, have a seat. I'm sure you're all hungry. She motions to a table that magically appears before you, complete with food from dinner. Tuck in. You all go. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank God, I was starving.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. And Cadence is gonna hop over and climb up into a chair.
You all must be the 5 students that have not arrived during orientation, perhaps?
We got lost.
We're terribly sorry, Headmistress.
Headmistress Avis kind of takes a moment to like look you over, and she kind of furrows her eyebrows and says, I would expected more of a Vance student.
As do I.
The important notion is that while I'm not here to expel you, unfortunately you will need to be serving detention.
On our first day?
Unfortunately, being late is not tolerated at Wakefield University.
Duly noted.
I mean, we tried to get here on time. Why was the gate locked? It's not like
The
we were
gate-
that late. We had to figure out all the gems.
The gates lock every term to protect from those who want to get into the school. Dark forces attempt to penetrate this school constantly. Wards are there to protect our students and staff within. You were late. The gate locks at exactly 7 p.m. every night.
Is that why we felt that weird feeling in the woods? The dark forces? Because I've heard about them before. You know, the shadowy stuff?
Malevolent creatures lurk in that forest at all times of the day, but specifically more at night. It is dangerous to be there alone. Even the most well-equipped of wizards have had troubles in that forest.
Okay,
No.
well, good to know.
I have prepared all of your schedules and timetables here, and she passes you out a folder with your names emblazoned to the top of it, as well as your class roster, any extra supply lists, and timetables as well. This coming evening, on your first day, I will need you to report to the library at 9 p.m. You'll be restocking the shelves, and I will speak to Madame Violet, the librarian, about what you'll be doing for the rest of the evening. Now, it is important to remember that while you're here at Wakefield, you will be protected by a highly esteemed staff and faculty. But just as much as we give protection to you, you will also need to obey our bylaws. Being late is a very important notion of being a wizard.
Understood. Thank you.
Should you have
Whatever
questions,
again.
that is what I like to hear. Now, should you have any questions about your timetables or anything else, you can ask me or your other prefects that walk the schools. Here's your dormitory assignments, if you don't mind. You'll be able to take them to the first year's hall. It is down towards the end of campus when you first walked in on your left-hand side. I have instructed Arabella, the RA, to help you if should you need it. But at this time, I have other attending things to get to. Do you have any questions before I lead you go and finish your dinners?
Detention. Are our parents notified?
Unfortunately, I will have to write to them all.
No, you
Very
don't
well.
really have to do that.
Unfortunately, I will. You must understand the seriousness of this being late.
But, I mean, we're all adults.
Yes, adults who should have arrived just as I instructed in your letters.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we
Yeah.
able to get a map of the school?
That is in your student handbooks that I've given to you. You should see a map on there. But
Thank goodness.
Other students should absolutely be able to help you should you have any questions.
We'll
Thank
do
you
our
for
best.
everything.
Of course. Now hurry along, as I'm sure you want to tuck in for the evening. You all finish up your dinners, scarfing it down, maybe taking a couple bites for the walk home to your dormitories. But it takes you some time to kind of get your bearings to the castle. Oops. Here we go. As you enter the nearly empty dorm lobby, an upperclassman with a clipboard waves you over. She has brown hair and a polite smile. Oh, you must be the late arrivals Professor Avis was mentioning. I have your dorm assignments here, the RA says, handing you all a sheet of parchment with your name at the top. You give it a second to read it over and you realize that you all have the same room number, 408. If you need anything during your stay in the first year hall, please come and find me. That's what I'm here for. You can call me Arabella. I expect you all want to get to your rooms and unpack.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much so, yes. Thank you so much. Guys, we're all gonna live together.
That is
Well,
quite a
Roommate.
coincidence.
very mysterious coincidence.
Uh-oh. What if they put us in the worst room they have because we were all late?
I'm sure they'd give it to someone else. I don't think they'd give it to us. It's not like they'd put us in the dungeon or anything.
They don't have a dungeon here. I
That we
hope.
know of.
I don't know, but even if it's their worst room, this place is pretty nice.
It is. Look at the view.
Yeah.
You go over to the window and you see the bright lights and warming glow of campus around you, as well as the witchwood that surrounds campus. You see a few straggling students kind of walking across campus, maybe a little happy to be back, but scurrying off to the places before a big day of classes tomorrow. You hurry down the hall, trying to find your room. As you pass the rooms, you take note of the numbers on the doors and soon realize that your dorm room is on the 4th floor, all the way at the top. Behind the doors down the hall, you hear music, people laughing, and even the occasional roar. Winding your way up the staircases, and out of breath, no doubt, you finally find room 408. But you notice something is off. There's no doorknob.
I told you, it's the worst room.
Well,
Maybe you have to ask
Elio,
it too.
Oh yeah. Don't you have that spell?
Elio,
You see magic come out of the tip of your wand, and you hear a clicking sound, but no doorway opens, no doorknob appears, nothing like that.
Well, if there's no doorknob, maybe it fell off around here somewhere. And can I look around the hall and maybe just check out, like, the hole where it used to be and see if I can
There's
find it?
no hole or anything. It's just like a plain wooden door.
There's just nothing. Can I just push it?
You feel your hand go through the door.
Maristela is gonna look around the doorway, see if there's like any hints of a password we need to say.
My hand went through it.
Maybe we
Well-
just have to walk through it.
Oh,
this
that's
place is magic.
Cadence is gonna dive in.
You feel a chill go through your body as you step through the threshold to the room. It's a cozy room with wood-paneled walls, a beautiful window that overlooks the grounds, and a stained glass crest of Wakefield adorned in the center. 2 plush couches flank either side of it, with the W emblem emblazoned on a couple of throw pillows. There's a coffee table between the 2 couches and an empty bookshelf and desk against the wall. Navy curtains adorn the windows, along with a gold-rimmed mirror hanging on the far wall. 2 doors on either side of the suite mark the bedrooms.
Oh, well, at least we have separate rooms.
Can't wait. See you guys tomorrow. Elizie looks for her room.
You're
Uh,
already going to bed.
I just need some alone time.
Well, okay. Good night.
Good night.
You enter one of the doors and you see that there are 3 beds in this room. You can decorate it however you see fit. But you do notice that in one of the rooms, there already is luggage in it and some things have been unpacked.
Oh,
Is this my luggage? Did they already bring my luggage up?
I don't know. You don't know what your luggage looks like?
Well, let me take a closer look.
When you notice that the trunk doesn't seem to be yours, and some of the posters on the walls are definitely not yours. They're of constellations and astronomy and spatial looking posters adorn it. There's like a little orbitorium sitting on the bedside table that shows the planets are sitting around the sun. There's
What's already been?
there's a faint scent of like lavender that clings to the air.
I think someone's already moved in here, guys.
Well, how many beds are there? And Cadence will go walk over and open another room.
The other room also has 3 beds in it, but nothing is unpacked in here.
Ooh, this one's free. I call it. She'll run in and jump on one of the beds.
You might not want to jump on those. They're quite old, and I don't think they replace them easily here.
Fair enough, but how else am I supposed to get up there? It's as tall as me.
I didn't mean it like that.
It's a little offensive.
You notice that there is a bed just for like halfling height inside.
She still takes one of the big beds.
Well, Cadence, it seems that is not your bed.
Well, Maeve, if some other student comes in here to ask for it, I guess I'll move. As she like sprawls out on the pillow.
Okay.
Ingrid would like to choose the bed with the 3rd bed with Elizie and the mystery person.
Okay.
As Maeve like turns around to like check the other room, she sees Ingrid and she like touches her nose, like the bridge of her nose, and she's like, okay. She turns and she chooses the 2nd large bed in that room, next to Cadence, and she starts to unpack, getting out Eden's tank out of her luggage to set her up and get her all comfortable first.
Sure.
I noticed you didn't take the small bed.
I don't believe I would have fit.
Well, hey, listen, I may be small, but I still like to spread out.
Well, I'm not quite sure you've done your maths. Since we have a guest, there's 6 of us, and there's 6 beds in 408.
Yeah, I wonder who the 6th person is.
Well, they're not
During-
here.
During that time, Maristela is going to be like searching the rest of the room, like being like, "Is anybody else in here?"
It's pretty empty, kind of
Okay.
just this ambience of a dorm hall.
Well, maybe they went to the library. They seem to like astronomy. Or maybe they want to go to the astronomy tower. That makes even more sense.
At that, a pretty girl with dark skin, wet hair, and beautiful brown eyes wrapped in a towel enters the room with a shower caddy tucked under her arm. She doesn't notice you at first, but as soon as she looks up, she stops and blushes, a little embarrassed. Oh, I didn't know if I'd be getting roommates or if I'd have the suite to myself this year. My name is Jupiter. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm glad I'm not going to be all alone.
Hi, Jupiter. I'm Maristela. You like to swim too? I love to swim.
That's awesome. While swimming is okay, I just was in the shower. Like, I wanted to freshen up so I didn't have to do it in the morning.
Oh, I see.
Hi, Jupiter. I'm Elizie. I like your setup.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm super into the stars and the cosmos. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
But we have other roommates too.
Yeah,
Well, I'd love to meet them.
let's
And
go.
She goes over to the other room and she pokes her head in. She goes, "Oh, hi. My name's Jupiter. I'm your other sweet mate."
Hi, Jupiter.
Hello, Jupiter. My name is Maeve.
And you are? And she looks over at Cadence.
Oh, I'm Cadence. I'm your roommate too.
Wonderful. And then she pokes her head in the other room. And you must be the sixth and final roommate. Hi, I'm Jupiter.
Ingrid, nice to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine. So, are you excited for another year at Wakefield? Oh, this is going to be so much fun. We're going to have slumber parties, do each other's nails, the whole shebang.
Another year. Oh, we are all first years.
Oh, first year's just the same as me. I took the summer course.
Oh.
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 So you must be pretty smart then.
Well, I kind of had this thing with enchantment and charms, and I'm really interested in teleportation. It's super cool.
No way. That's what I'm going here for.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I have a feeling that we're going to be best of friends.
that sounds great.
What did you think of the orientation in the dining hall? Wasn't it crazy about the whole speech that Headmistress Evie said?
We actually missed it. We got
Oh.
lost in the woods and then had to figure out how to open the gate.
You got lost in the woods? That's... What?
Yeah, it was so creepy. Wasn't it, guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were leaving the hollow and ended up, the only path was into the woods, and it felt strange to me, but we found our way out.
Yeah, but Headmistress Avis did say something to us about dark forces, and I don't know about you guys, but I definitely felt them.
Oh, I felt it.
I just think that we were all a bit, nervous for our first day, and meeting everybody. And I think that, if you're not used to the forest, I don't think there was any dark forces.
But I'm used to the forest.
This one?
Well, a lot of forests. I mean,
Not all forests are the same.
Well,
With Wakefield having a super big magical concentration and energy force with the weave, a lot of magical creatures go into the forest and kind of find their homes here. Other forests around Everas aren't quite the same.
I mean, I've been in a lot of forests. I've never felt a chill quite like that. I mean, I came here all the way from Summer Elmshire, and I walked through a lot of woods. And, I grew up in the woods, and I felt like something was watching us.
Oh, that's scary.
It was really creepy.
Or it could just be paranoia.
Or it could be paranoia.
Well, thankfully you'll be protected here. There's wards and enchantments all throughout the campus to protect us.
Right. I do just have a little concern, which is that, the four of us, five of us, I don't know why I can't count, aren't educated, to my point about counting, and we got through the gate.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you were a super intimidating dark force and you wanted to get through the gate, it only took us like 10 minutes.
Well, the good
That's
news is that there are Lumina crystals that protect the gates. Only true students of the school are able to get past them.
Okay, well, that's a huge relief. Because I don't want anything dark. I'm just here to study.
The chill from earlier returns. Candlelights flicker and a shadow moves across the walls. You see the shadow go across the wall and then it goes behind the mirror.
What was
Did
that?
somebody else? Okay, good. I wasn't the only one.
Nope.
I definitely felt it. We should definitely look at and see what it is.
I'm not going near that thing. Are you crazy?
It's just a looking glass.
It couldn't hurt anything. I'll do it.
Yeah. Mirror,
So-
mirror on the wall.
Elizie, as you approach the mirror, you see yourself kind of in the reflection, but then through the reflection, you see something shadowy looming behind you. And then it melts through the mirror. This dark entity crawls its way out of the mirror as it pulls its limbs out, climbing through the frame. The cold just absolutely shivers the room, and it's almost like frost grows across the glass window. Roll for initiative.
No, this is what I said I didn't want.
What?
Dark stuff. Don't you see that?
Sorry, I didn't realize you were in character. My bad. Okay, I take it back. Take it back. I was just hoping there wasn't, and if I hoped enough, it wouldn't be true.
Jupiter stands back. She pulls out her wand. She says, "Try to hold it off. I'll go get help." And she runs out of the room.
Well, that's cowardly. I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 19. Is it a d20?
Yeah.
Plus your
Plus
initiative.
her,
That was so I rolled
Plus her-
18. I got 19. So
Excellent.
Perfect.
17.
You said, what was yours? 9, Cadence?
A 7.
7. Ingrid,
15.
and then Mari.
She got 12.
Okay, so it'll go Elizie, Maeve, Ingrid, Mari, and then Cadence. Elizie, since this is your first time playing, you get to choose an action of what you want to do and a movement for now. So your action is like spell casting, taking the dodge action, hiding action, that type of thing. And then your movement, or spell casting, obviously. And then movement, you can move anywhere around the room.
okay, so Elsie is a little startled but not scared, and jumps back, dodges out of the way, over closer to the beds.
Okay. So she'll use the dodge as her action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maeve, you're up next.
Sevrio.
You see magic get cast out of your wand as it slashes through the creature, and it hurls like a hissing, like in an eerie shriek. Maristela, you're up next.
Oh, I don't know what this is. She's gonna cast Ignio?
Ignio. A puff of fire sprouts from your wand as it casts towards the creature, and it shrivels also in a horrible shriek. Ingrid?
She's also gonna cast Ignio.
Sure. So Ignio gets cast out of your wand. This one is an eruption of ember and flame as it reaches into the shadowy creature, and you see it kind of shimmer on the inside of like just churning like ember and smoke in the inside of this creature. Cadence?
She's going to step back and hide behind, or like crouch behind a piece of furniture, and she's also going to cast Severo.
That's her action. She's going into hiding.
Okay, let me rephrase that. She's going to use her movement then to move back and then away and then cast Severo as her action.
You see, as you're building up the magic in your wand, this shadow creature just straight dives toward Maeve. And as it's coming within inches of you, Maeve, it puffs into like disapparating smoke as Cadence casts the severing spell, and it dissipates as it shrieks from you.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
What in all that is Triton and holy was that?
I don't know. I'll have to do some research when we're able to go to the library.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I've seen that in a book somewhere before. Maybe?
Roll a history check.
Maybe that's what was following us in the woods.
Maybe.
Eight.
8.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely read up on the like creatures, dark creatures before, and your mind comes to what's called a follower, which is usually just a harmless prank that other wizards cast on each other, but they're definitely not like anything that couldn't be handled.
Guys, I think this might have been a prank.
A prank?
Prank?
I don't know. This whole situation's so weird.
What do you mean a prank? We felt something following us in the woods, and then that thing just, it was that same chill.
That's true.
That doesn't
Ju-
feel like a prank.
Jupiter runs back into the room and she's like, I kind of forgot that I was wearing a towel. Oh, where'd it go?
Yeah, a lot of help you were,
I was
Roomy.
trying to get help, and I'm sure 5 accomplished witches such as yourselves could handle a creature like that.
Well, we did. I thought
Exactly.
you took summer classes. You could have helped.
Yeah, but I also was trying to get someone who might know a thing or two about what just came out of a mirror.
What year are you again, Jupiter?
I'm still a first year.
Okay. Well, thanks for
Did you-
trying to help.
Did you get Arabella?
I tried, but I got halfway down the steps and realized that I was definitely in a towel.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe go get
well,
dressed.
you go get dressed. I'm making my way there. And she puts Eden in the tank, at the foot of her bed. And she closes the the closure, and she huffs and kind of stomping. She's mad that someone would play a prank on us. And she exits the room and she starts making her way down to find Arabella.
Well, wait, I'm gonna come too. And Cadence is gonna smooch Corvus's little cheek and keep her on her shoulder and follow Maeve.
Before you go, what do you think that was?
I have no idea. I just vaguely remember it from a book that I read.
What would that be?
What book did I read?
No, what creature did you discern that it could have been?
A
follower.
Oh, I think it was a follower, guys.
A follower?
Like a prank.
No, followers? I don't think that was a follower.
Why?
Because followers are wisps of smoke, like baubles. That was something more. But I also don't think it's a good idea to blab to the school about what happened. I think this should stay between us while we figure things out.
That's ridiculous. We should tell Arabella. It was in our room where we sleep.
Yeah, but Jupiter's got a point. We did handle it on our own. And
Well, I don't want to handle it again.
But what if the headmaster thinks it was us
That's
who brought
ridiculous.
it in?
We've been great students so far.
We
we
get
all
paid
have
and we have
Constitution would
detention.
beg to differ.
It's only going to launch a full investigation into our dorms. We're going to have to get rehoused, and on the first day before classes, I don't have time to do all that. I think for now, you can do a little research and figure it out, but just stay between us for now.
Okay,
I
okay.
know.
Okay, well, just... All right.
All right, well, let's continue unpacking, everyone. It'll be okay.
sounds good to me. We'll figure it out.
Is the Never mind. Never mind.
You begin to like unpack your belongings, hanging up posters, setting out plants, or whatever, mind you. But there's still the conundrum of the bed situation. As everyone starts to get tucked into bed, Maristela, you see a small 4-foot bed, almost like a toddler's bed, in the room as Cadence sprawls out on her large bed.
She's already asleep. Starfish.
Maricella's just gonna like kind of shrug and take maybe the blanket off and go to the couch out in the commons to sleep.
So
Not wanting to bug her.
Jupiter, like as the lights kind of go out and everyone starts to drift off to sleep, Jupiter goes out to the small like little kitchenette area, and she starts pouring a tea, and then she like looks over. She goes, "Oh, Marcella, what are you doing?"
Well, I figured I'd make this my bed because I can fit in this bed. The other bed was too tiny that was left.
That was supposed to be Cadence's bed. They've had it in here since she's a halfling.
Oh. Well, maybe she seems so happy in the big bed. I don't want to like disturb her or anything. That'd be mean.
As she continues to like pour a cup of tea, do you want one?
Yeah, that sounds great. I like tea.
Well, listen, you can take my bed if it's that big of a deal. I don't want you sleeping out here by yourself.
No, I don't want to take your bed. Then you have without a bed. I'm fine with not having a bed.
Don't
It's just
worry
one
about
night.
it. No, well then fine. If you want to stay out here on the couch, then I'll sleep with you. One moment. And she goes into her room. She grabs a pillow and a blanket for herself on the couch across from her, and she like sips her tea and sets it on the table, and then she cozies up in it. There, it's like our first summer party.
Yeah, I've read about those slumber parties. People do them. That sounded
If you
weird.
don't mind me asking, are you a Silesian?
I am.
That's really cool. Merfolk are so cool. The way they can slip through streams just like that and go up all across the ocean.
It's quite fun. I could take you sometime.
Well, can you keep a secret?
Mhm.
So, while I may not be going through slipstreams, I can open up tears to portal places.
That's like super rare.
That was the real reason I was here over the summer.
Oh, like that giving you extra training to make sure you don't end up somewhere you shouldn't, like the middle of a volcano.
Exactly like that.
Well, that's good they're teaching you how to use that power, because that could be pretty dangerous, actually.
It's normally reserved for later years about teleportation because how dangerous it can be, but you know, Headmistress Avis, she wants to make sure all of her students are well equipped.
Well, that's good. She seems very intelligent and strict, but
She
Yeah.
has to be. Think about all the students she has to take care of, especially with what she said tonight at dinner. I know you weren't there, but she said something about there is darkness brewing, like
darkness
last time.
brewing? What do you mean, like last time? Like the
Apparently,
Battle Wars?
no, nothing like that. But there's something evil out there in the world.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not comforting at all, coming from someone like her.
The good news is that we're protected here. Those enchantments will keep out even the darkest of creatures. Only students can get inside those wards, and faculty, of course.
That's good. Has anybody from the Magisterium said anything about this darkness?
She said something about the Magisterium might have to come periodically to check up on us to make sure the wards and enchantments are up, but no one that I've seen so far.
Okay. Well, then we all have to watch each other's backs when we leave the school, like safety. 'Cause-
Us girls got to stick together.
Yeah.
All right, I am tired. And she looks over to the mirror and she's like, do you mind if I like put that down and like put a sheet over it?
Yeah, that seems safe. Cover it.
Okay.
Tuck underneath the couch even. We're in the closet.
Ooh, good idea. And she tucks it away. She puts a sheet over it and puts it in the back of the closet. She comes back over, finishes off her tea, and then cozies up on the couch across from you. And then she says, "Good night, Maristela. I'm glad you're my roommate."
Yeah. Good night, Jupiter. I'm glad you're my roommate too.
And you all drift off to sleep. Let's see here.
Gray,
Yes.
can we take a quick potty break?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
If you guys need to go get water, I'm going to get some more water too. So if you guys need to take, well, when everyone gets back.
I'm gonna fix my character sheet so I can see it.
How to get my box of wizard snacks, aka Cheez-Its.
Cheese it. Are those the ones I brought?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so hungry. I had some soup today.
You what?
I ate soup today right before. Like I microwaved it real fast and like chopped it down as
Scrub it
fast as
down.
I could.
For that.
Because we haven't been home. I haven't been grocery shopping yet. No clue what I want to do for dinner tonight. Taco Bell, probably.
Yum.
Ooh.
Talk about hot blast for me.
I will. Well, I'll sip it and then drink it tomorrow because if I
Oh.
drink Baja Blast, I will be up all night. That is my caffeine coffee. I'll drink with coffee, but Baja Blast, like, hello world, I'm awake forever.
I feel that.
I learned how to tie a tie. I was very proud of myself.
Nice, nice. Very proud of you.
Not very good, but I
Hey,
tried.
it works.
But Mara would not be very good at it either because it's the first time wearing human clothes.
There you go.
Also, can we say what the fuck?
What?
Cadence?
Yeah, what a bitch.
I know!
It's okay. I mean, Mara doesn't know any better either, and that's what she would do. She wouldn't bug somebody.
Hey, thank you. I'm back.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
And a girl.
All right. The morning after your encounter with the creature in your dorm, you all stumble out of your room and shuffle to the dining hall, which is already bustling with activity. Students line up at the buffet in the center, piled high with breakfast food. And you notice that every time a student takes a plate, another one reappears. What do y'all do?
Thanks. Smells great in here. I think I'm gonna go find something to eat.
I am as well. I'll meet you in the table in the back that's open.
Sounds good. I'll meet you at the table.
Yeah, we can all meet back there. And as Cadence walks to the line to get her breakfast, she's going to look out and just kind of look at the other students, kind of see what they look like and who's there. Who
A
are her
lot.
classmates. Okay, she's just looking around the crowd. Not for
Yeah.
anyone specific, but just getting an idea of what the people of Wakefield look like.
Sure. You see just kind of students all in their uniforms and all different array of the variations of the regulation uniform. Happily, chatting, drinking, having their morning breakfast and things like that. You all gather your food and you find yourself at a table where Jupiter's like waving you over. Oh, hey, I saved you all a seat.
Thank
Thank
you. That
you.
was very kind
Thanks.
of you.
It's what I do.
How'd everybody sleep?
It was pretty well.
Really well. I had a great night's sleep.
Yes, I did notice that there was a little slumber party out in the living room.
Oh
Aw,
yeah.
really?
Yeah, Maristela couldn't fit in, the bed that was given to you, Cadence. So I offered to give her my bed, but we decided to sleep on the couches instead.
That sounds fun, but also I fell asleep before I realized that. Maristela, you can have that bed.
It's okay if you really need it. But I
No,
wouldn't mind
hey,
having my bed.
I want you to be comfortable. I fell asleep. I was tired, but no, I mean, it's fine. I can stretch out in the little bed too.
Okay. Well, we can sort that after all of our classes, which sounds like we have Magical Beginnings 101 at 9 a.m. At least I
Hey,
do.
you could have woken me up, you know.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. That's mean.
Well, you shoulda. Next time,
Alright.
wake me up.
Well, now that the bed situation is settled, is anyone gonna go to the library today and try and figure out what that thing was last night?
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Don't we have detention?
We do at 9 p.m. But
9
what-
p.m.
yes, it's quite a late detention here. For us to stock the shelves, which actually is quite funny because that's what I signed up to do as my job. So I'm quite happy about that. I'm actually going to go to the library early to do the research before we start stocking shelves.
So, yeah, for you, it's basically like an internship.
Yes,
I think I'm gonna tag along with you.
you're more than welcome.
Not me. I want to go outside. I want to see the gardens and the outside of the building and walk around campus. We hardly got to see it last night.
What time is it, DM, in the morning?
It's about 25 minutes before 9.
Okay. Well, you only have I know my first class is at 9 a.m., so I am just going to eat and then go to my first class. So, yeah.
Where do you
start-
find your class
Okay.
schedule?
It's in our book that Headmistress Evas gave us. At least mine's on there, my timetable.
Sydney, you don't have yours on your. I haven't added it to your character sheet yet.
Got it. That's fine.
Oh, I have magical beginnings at 9 a.m. as well.
So do I.
It seems
We'll all
like
be in the same class.
my schedule.
What? Well, I mean, why don't you just come with us to Magical Beginnings? I mean, you're probably either in that class, or if you're not, at least you're in school.
And then I'll be late to my class I'm supposed to be in. Another detention for me, I guess.
Yeah, but maybe Headmistress Avis will give you another meal. She wasn't mean.
But they're very strict here, and I fear that if we were late again, we might get a worse punishment than detention.
Well, maybe you should go try to get another copy of your schedule. Why don't you go talk to Arabella?
You really think she has a copy of all of our schedules?
No, but I don't know where to go, and she's the RA, so she'd probably tell you where to go.
Just so
Right?
you know, Sydney, you have the same classes as everyone.
I kind of figured.
Well, we're going to have to go to the North Tower, so we probably should start heading that way. It's like a 15-minute walk.
Oh
Oh,
my goodness.
Definitely.
Okay.
Maeve shovels in a few more pieces of fruit, and she's like, where do we put our plates?
Oh, don't worry, they get magicked. Once you're done, just say "enough, I'm done," and they disappear.
Enough, I'm done.
Enough,
And
I'm
you
done.
see your plates disappear from the table.
Before they vanish, Cadence is gonna grab a muffin off of hers, hop off her stool, and eat it as she walks.
All right. So you guys head through Hecate Hall, and you follow Jupiter through the castle as you traverse the many staircases and corridors and things like that before eventually finding yourself in your classroom. The large lecture hall square, a corner room with high lofty windows on two sides, contains 4 rows of elegant wooden desks set up on racked steps like an amphitheater, looking down on a large blackboard in the professor's desks. Particles of chalk dust hang in the air, and the morning sunlight cascades through the windows. You notice that this class has about 20 students in it, all in uniform much like your own. And all are looking like very young, ordinary people trying to look cooler and smarter than the other. Though one in particular, a pale elf with hair stark white and 2 different colored eyes, catches your attention. Though as soon as you look away from her, it's almost as if you can't remember her at all. At the front of the classroom stands a tall and slender woman with dark hair and even darker eyes. Her deep red robes accentuate her feminine features as she goes over to the chalkboard and writes Magical Beginnings, Professor LaFay, in loopy cursive handwriting. You all find your seats before she begins. The study of magic is not a science. It is not an art, and is not a religion. Magic is a craft, first and foremost. We do not wish upon a star or pray to a god. We rely solely on our will and knowledge of the weave to make a specific change to the world. This is not to say that we understand magic, in the sense that a physicist understands why subatomic particles do whatever it is that they do. Or perhaps they don't understand that yet, I can never remember. In any case, we do not and cannot understand what magic truly is. We can only know what it comes from the weave that surrounds us. With the caveat that this is much more difficult and much more dangerous than is much more interesting to be a mage than it is to be, say, a lightbringer, a summoner, or a warden. I'm sure that most of you have been able to do small bits of magic. Wand lighting and levitation spells are rudimentary for all mages, but in this class we will learn spells you've never heard of, or even attempt in your wildest of daydreams. She leans against the desk and crosses her arms, your attention fully on her. My name is Professor Morgana Le Fay, and you will do well to remember that. For the next 4 years, I will be your mentor and guide to the world of magic and its capabilities. I normally don't start with anything heavy on your first day, but I get you for the next few hours, so we might as well begin with our first lesson. Ley lines, fairies, and the weave. As you open up your books to the first chapter, you notice that it's about fairies. You begin to skim the pages and see different iconography of fairies in different states, one more beautiful than the next. Professor LaFay then begins to speak. Our first course will be over fairies, where they come from, how to handle them, and how to understand their world. Can anyone tell me where fairies come from? Yes, Miss... She
Uh,
points to Maeve.
Miss Vane, I believe the Fey realm.
Correct. But what is the correct name for the Fey realm?
Oh, I knew this. Starts with an E.
Would
I ha-
anyone else perhaps to guess? Yes.
Is it
Miss
the Ever?
the Everplane. Correct. Now, in the same way that birds can sense the Earth's magnetic field and use it to orient themselves during their seasonal migrations, the Fae can sense the subtle flows of energy that connect places of power worldwide through the weave. Think of it as a root system that stems from the elder tree in Hollowroot. Even the most remote places of Everas have a connection to the weave, no matter how far away from its central force. Thankfully, here at Wakefield, we have an energy source that helps students with the innate magic and connection to the weave. Can anyone tell me what that might be? Yes, and she looks over at Maristela. Miss...
Tide. The Sorcerer's Stone? That's a giant Lumina crystal.
Correct. And does anyone know where you can find the Sorcerer's Stone here at Wakefield? Yes, Miss Tide.
It's in the library.
Close by it, but not exactly. It is in the Hall of Magi, centered at its force, protected by the snarl. Now, Some ley lines are stronger than others, and even if they are not connected to two strong power wells, experienced mages can sense ley lines by using a dowsing spell, Reveleous. Now, there are other ways to sense it by using dowsing rods and enchanted objects, though most of them are inaccurate and unreliable for finding the smaller, weaker lines. Unless you require the location of a medium or high-strength ley line from a handful or fewer occasions, experts still recommend practicing the dowsing spell. Basic proficiency in the spell takes longer to achieve, but it'll be far more useful in the long run. Now, that is to say, there are scattered across the world pockets of stagnation where little or no weave energy flows. Without exception, these areas are fatal to magical creatures. In some dead zones, lesser beings such as a pixie or a sprite may die within minutes, whereas more powerful beings such as owl bears and minotaurs can survive perhaps a day or two. The Valley of Morrow is one of the largest natural dead zones in Jianzhou, but it is far exceeded by the lethality of the Yuani salt flats of Oxley, where even higher order creatures die within hours. There are man-made zones as well. Most commonly, they are found on the ancient battlefields and sacrificial sites where negative energy lies, all contribute to a withering weave concentration. Fortunately, these dead bones can be reclaimed with relative ease over the course of several years by seeding the oil and native to trees and plants, especially flayflowers and other pollinator species that support the local insect populations. If this is unfeasible, however, standard methods of crop rotation can help mitigate these effects in dead zones somewhat. Now, let's begin practicing the dowsing spell. The incantation is simple but effective. Simply cast out Reveleous while aiming your wand out towards the desired area. For the duration, you can sense the presence of the weave within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in this area that bears magic. And you'll learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, however, be mindful that it can be blocked by 1 foot of stone, an inch of common material called metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt. For the rest of the duration of class today, I would like you to each partner up and practice the Reveleous spell. There are hidden objects around this room that you will only be able to sense by using this proper spell. Now, enjoy. And she goes over to her desk and sits down and pores over an open book.
Okay, who wants to be partners?
Elizie, would you like to be my partner?
I would love that.
Ouch. Anybody?
We can be partners if you want. Or Ingrid, do you need her as a partner? I can pick somebody else if needed.
It doesn't matter.
Look,
I'm okay
guys,
with making other
don't
friends.
jump for joy. You know what? It's fine.
Maristela,
She's
hey.
gonna walk over to Saphiria's or the white hair girl's desk. Be like, "Do you need a partner?"
Oh, okay. Saphis kind of like looks up, scowls, and she's like, no, I'm quite fine, thank you.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Ingrid, and Jupiter comes up. Would you want to be partners?
Sure.
Perfect. And you all begin practicing your spells as Maristela and Cadence still don't have partners.
Maristella's gonna look at Cadence and be like, I said we could be partners. I just want to make sure Ingrid was okay.
Right. Well, okay. You want to go first?
I mean, do you not want to be partners with me? Is it because
No.
I'm a... Okay.
No, I want to be partners with anyone. I think you all seem perfectly nice.
Okay. Well.
Alrighty. So
yeah.
what you're going to do is you're going to roll a d20, adding your intelligence modifier. What did we all get?
I
7.
rolled don't laugh. A 13.
21.
17.
A 4.
So, anyone below an 18, you try to cast out the Reveleous spell, but a puff of fizzle magic comes out of your wands. Miss Vance, you're able to cast the Reveleous spell with almost ease, as your innate heritage to magic has come with you pretty easily. You're able to cast for the next hour around the room as you gain the Reveleous spell. Everyone else, unfortunately, for this lesson, you do not learn it. However, you can practice this on your own time to gain that spell in your repertoire. Over the next hour, you continue to practice, maybe a little bit sparks of the Reveleous magic, but as the bell chimes, it is ending of the lesson. Perfect. I see some of you have gone mastery of it. Congratulations, Miss Vance. You were the first of your peers to be able to do so. Now, if you don't mind, please read the approved passage on boggarts and have the return homework before tomorrow's lesson. You are all dismissed.
Well, fish sticks. I didn't learn that one. I thought I could get that.
It was harder than I thought too.
I can help you all practice. You know, maybe tonight when we all get back from detention.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Of course.
I almost had it.
You were very close.
Oh well.
It's okay.
Where to next, guys?
I guess detention. Or actually, let's look at the schedule.
We have 30 minutes till we have, at least I have 30 minutes till alchemy.
Oh, same here.
So do I.
Alchemy. Did you say detention was 9 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay, that just seems so late. Well, I'm excited for alchemy.
We have classes after 9 o'clock, though, on some days. Well, I do.
It
I do
just
as well.
Seems late to me.
I should really find my schedule. She like takes her wand and like scratches her head.
I think you'd probably be with us. If we're all roommates, then we have to take it together. I mean, it sounds plausible.
I would love to know if we have enough time to go to the library before class. How long is the walk to get to alchemy?
Aren't we gonna be stuck in the library all night for detention?
That's true.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't go to the library. You do what you want, but you might as well make the most out of your time there.
Oh yeah, we'll just do that.
Well, actually, the alchemy labs are in Heckett Hall, where we are now. So I'm actually going to sit outside for a few minutes before class starts.
Yeah, I want to go outside too.
Let's all go outside.
Let's go outside. Cadence will run ahead.
Jupiter, she tucks her books into her bag and she like slings it over her shoulder. You guys enjoy the grounds outside. I'm gonna head to class. Don't want to be late, you know, and this castle is quite large. Don't want to get lost.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jupiter, actually.
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, I just want to get some fresh air.
Go get fresh air. I'm not about to be late to class.
Well, how much time do we have?
Only 30 minutes.
Oh, that's plenty of time. She'll run outside.
It takes you 15 minutes to get from the classroom down into Heckett Hall, leaving you 15 minutes left to go outside and be back in the Alchemy and Potions department.
She will spend 10 minutes outside.
Maeve, she walks to the outside and she didn't realize how long it took them to walk. And she'll look around and take a deep, calming breath because she knows alchemy is not her strong suit. And she will turn around and walk to find the alchemy labs.
Okay. Cadence will feel inspired by nature and get excited about alchemy because it's her favorite. And she'll run behind after Maeve.
It takes about 10 minutes from Hecate Hall to get down to the potions lab, meaning that both Miss Vance and Miss Rose will be 5 minutes late to class. Across the hall, you find your way to Alchemy and Potions department to find the lab room 306 where alchemy lessons are held. It's draftier in this part of the school, and even in the most arid of towers. High counters with small stoves and sinks flutter around the room, along with walls stocked with potion vials and ingredients. For a moment, you realize that Maeve and Cadence haven't arrived, but also the professor is not there as well. Thankfully, they were able to get in even before the professor showed up. After finding your table, you pull out your cauldrons and place them on the burners, careful not to turn them on just yet. A murmur throughout the students is heard as 10 minutes have passed and there's still no sign of the professor. Some are talking about their recent classes, but some are also talking about a party that seems to be coming up this weekend at Gorin Keep. After another 10 minutes and there's still no sign of the professor, some students begin packing their things, whispering about being able to legally leave since no instructor has arrived yet. Suddenly, from another door in the room, an older man with sharp rose enters. You remember this being the same professor who met you at the front gates on your first day. He sets down a bottle on his desk filled with a black ooze and then looks over at his students. I apologize for my tardiness. There was quite the scuffle in the art annex this morning. Apparently, someone enchanted a trunk and had attacked unknowing students who got too close. Welcome, first years, to Alchemy 101 with Professor Kern. You are here to learn the subtle sciences and exact arts of potion making. Many of you, I'm sure, have been able to create small salves and elixirs before coming here to Wakefield, but leave those elementary baubles behind. Not all will understand the beauty of the softly simmering cauldron with its shimmering fumes and the delicate power of liquids that creep through your veins, bewitching the mind and ensnaring the senses. I can teach you how to bottle dragon flame, brew glorifying potions, and even put a stop on death's sweet kiss. Professor Kern goes quickly to the center of the lab, where a large black cauldron bubbles. Would anyone like to attempt to guess what is brewing today?
Is it a love potion?
You're gonna roll Arcana.
Oh, okay. Okay. That seems appropriate, actually. 7.
It is not a love potion. It is a healing potion. The potion kind of simmers a crimson red, and it gives off the sweet scent of candies and sweets. There are 4 important ingredients for the healing potion: Botany moss pods, mood fungus spores, goodberry tree slime, and leaves. Disastrous should you mix up any of these ingredients, and can anyone tell me why? The hand of a beautiful dark-haired girl raises, and she begins explaining. Extracting goodberry juice instead of tree slime will leave the drinker without function of whatever body part that is one it's trying to attempt to heal. That is because the juice from a goodberry has a higher potency than that of slime. She tosses her hair and smirks at the other 2 girls around her who join in on the giggle fest. Ah, yes, that is correct, Miss Beauclair. You must have a knack for potions. I'm sure the rest of you will understand this once you have taken your first botany lessons in the Arboreum. You will find that botany and alchemy coincide with each other, and it is important to understand that what potions you are brewing as well as what you're putting into it. Now, it looks like there's only about a half an hour left for lab, just enough time for you to read the passage in your books about healing potions. Your homework assignment is to gather the correct ingredients before we meet again. I ask that you form a lab study group at this time amongst yourselves. I need to analyze something, he says as he pulls the bottle from his desk and starts pouring it into a strange glass contraption that looks like a chemistry set.
Okay. It's going to sound weird, but Saf's going to clock what he's doing.
Sap is not in this class.
She's not? Okay. Never mind.
Maeve is going to be trying to write down as quickly as she possibly can of what they said. He said, goodberry Dittany moss Did I hear that correctly for the health potion?
Botany
No.
moss pods.
From across the classroom, you hear the same group of girls like laugh at you saying that. She can't even pay attention to classes. Ugh. And I thought more of a vein.
Hey, don't worry about them. I think that they said that Goodberry will make the potion go bad. That the use of that boggy part that's trying to be healed, it won't work. That one girl said that, or something
Good
like
berry
that.
juice, but you need the good
Yeah.
berry sap.
Yeah. Wait,
The
what
sap?
about the sap?
There was still good berry in it, but it wasn't good berry juice. You needed the other part of the good berry.
Okay, so the
Good berry
juice.
sap.
Botany moss pods.
Can Ingrid look in her book and reread it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
You go over your book and you realize that the ingredients to the potion are 750 milliliters of water, 6 Dittany moss pods, 4 moon fungus spores, goodberry tree slime, and 3 fairy fern leaves. You don't have to memorize that. Your character would know.
Okay.
It's tree slime, not juice or
Sap.
sap.
Okay. And the juice is what makes it poison.
Not poison, just not
It
effective.
takes away use of that body part.
Do you
That
hear them,
doesn't
Astrid?
matter.
Don't even know the difference between poisons and potions.
We definitely know who the mean girls in this class are, huh?
I was gonna say they're bitches.
They kind of are, aren't they?
Professor Kern? She raises her hand. I hate to interrupt you. However, a student over there at that table just called me the B word. Professor Kern, he looks up from his chemistry set and looks over. Miss Rose,
Yes,
apologize to Miss Beauclair. That's a future queen.
I'm not apologizing for that.
Then detention you will serve with me tomorrow evening.
Well, fine, I already have detention, but they're being bitches.
Do you want to make it too?
No, sir. But they're being.
Apologize.
No, I won't apologize. They're making fun of me and my friends, and we're trying to study. It's not right.
Miss Rose, until you find it appropriate to behave yourself in my class, you are forbidden from entering it. Leave.
But
No,
I'm-
there is no but. I will not tolerate bullying in this class.
I'm not the bully.
Another word, and I will have it in for your expulsion from Wakefield University.
Cadence tears up, grabs her books, and storms out of the room.
Now, continue reading on healing potions with less chatter. And he goes back to his chemistry set. The group of girls, they kind of snigger and continue reading in their potion books. Serves her right. If I'm to be queen one day, peasants like her will not be part of my kingdom.
Maeve shoots her a look. Just like she side-eyes her, and then she goes back to her book.
Miss Beauclair sweetly smiles back at her before continuing with their potions lesson.
Maristela is trying to keep her head way down. She's just trying to hide behind her book and pretend she doesn't know anybody else at the table who's looking bad at Evelyn.
With the rest of your lesson, you continue reading, but then Professor Kern gets up from his table. You are all dismissed early. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Miss Beauclair, may I have a word? And he pulls her aside.
Let's go check on Cadence.
Yes, she was trying to speak up, but
I mean,
she
he gave
must.
her plenty of warning to stop.
That's right.
But she wasn't wrong. And if a
I'm
queen
not
is
saying that
anything,
I'm not saying she wasn't wrong. I'm just saying
There's certain social rules, and she did not follow them within the school. Let's go.
before you guys head out, Miss Beauclair finishes her talk with Professor Kern, and she says, "Oh, was it Ingrid?
Yes.
Hey, listen. You seem to be cooler than your other friends. There's a party going on this weekend at Gorn Keep. I would like to invite you to come and hang out. I'm Evie, by the way. Evie Beauclair, future queen."
I'll think about it. Thanks.
Of course. And if you do think about it, we'd love to have you come. It'll be around 10 or so. There'll be honeymead there if you want some with your name on it. See you around. And she goes over to her girls as they exit the classroom.
Oh, what was that about, Ingrid? You're the cool kid?
I don't know how I'm a cool kid.
I want to be a cool kid too.
I mean, if it means acting like that, I'm not so sure I want to be, but
She definitely got a lot of learning to do before she becomes queen. Let's go find Cadence and see how she's doing.
You guys exit the department and you head yourselves back up through the corridors. Where did Cadence go?
Cadence would have found a bench somewhere, maybe just in one of the hallways or a lobby, and she's just sitting there with her arms crossed, swinging her feet because they don't touch the ground, and just scowling.
You guys all see this.
Maeve will come over and sit down, and she'll bump her shoulder with Cadence's. You weren't wrong, but there's a certain sophistication, social cues here at the school.
Listen, I understand social cues and etiquette. You don't have to worry about that. I just think it's wrong.
It was wrong of her to say such things,
I'm not going to put up with it.
but you stuck up for me. I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, you're my friend.
And Maeve gives her a small smile. Never had a friend before.
That's a little bit sad.
Well, I've had acquaintances.
Well, I didn't mean that in a mean way. I just mean, even I had friends, but well, you have some friends now. I just don't think that it's the girls in our alchemy class.
Yes, but Ingrid was given a invitation to a party this weekend.
I don't think I'm gonna go.
What do you mean
You
a party? Like the one that the other kids were talking about?
Did someone say party? And you hear Jupiter coming down the halls with books in her hands. Oh, I thought I'd be seeing you guys.
Hey,
Yeah. They there's a party they kept talking about, like Goran Keep this weekend.
Oh, the old abandoned dragon sanctuary. Yeah, that's like super cool. And you got invited? Dang, you must be really cool. We're going, right?
Well,
Are we-
just Ingrid did.
Oh. Then I'll have to find an invitation somehow.
I don't know if you want to go. I think the people going are mostly bullies and bitches.
Oh,
Bullies and bitches. Have you already gotten into trouble on your first day?
Well, we got into trouble before we even met you, so yeah, but also the girls in our last class were really nasty. They were being
Who?
mean. I don't know, that Miss Beauclair?
She's
I
like,
think she
her
said her
eyes-
name was Evie.
her eyes go wide. Evie talk to you? You do know
No.
who she is, right?
She's some future queen, but honestly, she just made fun of us. She was a jerk.
Well, be that as it may, as a future queen, I would try to stay on her good side. I mean, she will be ruling you one day.
I don't care about being on her good side. I don't care about who's ruling. She doesn't get to be a jerk.
So what you're saying is we should all go to the party and have a good time?
See, Elizie knows exactly what's up. Honeymead flowing, dancing, partying. Come on.
I don't want to go to that party.
Well, I don't want to get in trouble again. If my parents hear again, and I'm terrifying of being expelled, but who knows what my parents would do with me.
Are they religious?
No, not at all. They're actually just very strict.
Oh.
Magic is important to our family.
It
Oh.
sounds like the whole school will be there. I'm sure there's not too much to worry about. We should definitely go. Keep your friends
Well-
close and your enemies closer, right?
Where we should be going is Botany.
Elizie gets it. Listen, I'll try to score us an invitation because it's going to be on a need-to-know guest list basis. So I'll try to put my feelers out for it if we do end up going. Which, I mean, Elizie, you and I'm sure we can throw down at some wizard gibble.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sweet. All right, well, enjoy your botany class. And you're going to enjoy it if you see who the professor is. See y'all later. And she goes
Bye.
off.
Bye. Well, I mean, I guess we can go to the party, but you guys aren't going to ditch me, are you?
We wouldn't do that.
None of you partnered up with me.
I
Except
partnered
Maristela.
with you.
After everyone else was chosen,
I
it
was
doesn't
glad
feel
to be
warm
chosen
and
too.
fuzzy.
Well, Cadence, I feel like we got off on the wrong foot earlier.
Maybe. I didn't
But-
think that.
Well,
Maybe-
if we need partners in botany, maybe you guys can partner, or I'll partner with you.
But if we go to the party, we can stick together.
Yeah,
So I've never been to anything like that before.
just stay by me. I got you covered.
Okay. You're sure.
I'm sure.
All right, so you guys exit the castle and head toward the Arboreum. It's a giant greenhouse with smaller classrooms on the inside. A tree in the center of the greenhouse blows in a magical breeze. It feels like summer inside all year round. You see other classmates forming a line at a greenhouse A, where your first botany class is with Professor Thornwright. Students are trying to take a peek inside as you hear some of them murmur the words, handsomely good looking, and dryad.
Whew.
Marcel walks in. She's like, "Oh, it's greener than a kelp forest."
Wow.
You enter the greenhouse and find that most of the desks look like cafe tables and rusty white iron chairs. Plants hang from the ceiling and line the glass walls, and the smell of fresh dirt fills your nostrils. At the front of the class is Professor Thornwright, whose hair grows leaves and vines along with normal hair. He has a sunny disposition about himself and smiles as you take your seats. Sun's greetings, class. Welcome to the greenhouses. How lovely it is to see the first classes of the year. Exciting, no? He smiles faintly. Many of the students look up at the professor and nod. Well then, let's make the best of it. First, please review your class syllabus and rules which outline what we'll be learning about this semester. We're going to talk about the toxic plants and how to treat them. Specifically, we are going to first look at a variety of beautiful but harmless plants and discuss other plants and remedies used to treat those poisonous plants. Today, we'll be discussing the toxic plants in general. Professor Thornlight begins pacing around the room as he speaks. Take note that when I say toxic or poisonous, I generally mean the same thing. Essentially, any plant that is harmful when touched or ingested earns these characteristics. I want to note that there is quite a long list of plants that fall into the poisonous list. In fact, I promise that you've likely ingested some. Many of the students raise their eyebrows, clearly willing to challenge the professor on this. Oh yes. How many of you have ever eaten an apple in your lifetime?
Definitely me.
So I suppose it's safe to assume that you all have ingested apple seeds. Students nod. Apple seeds contain a small amount of magdalene, a moderately poisonous glycoside. That being said, the amount is small enough to the point where it is no harm to you to eat. However, it is possible to eat enough of those seeds to make that dose fatal. Oh, and cherries, he calls out, ignoring the students' concerned sounding mumbles that inquiets them. Cherries, peaches, plums, apricots. There are common foods that contain amygdalin. Yes, amygdalin, the same poisonous glycoside found in apples. After a moment of concern passes over the students, they all finally quiet down, and Professor Thornlight continues on with his lecture. The point is, there are plenty of plants that contain some sort of toxin or poison. They don't just provide enough to be fatal to us. Have you ever wondered why you can't feed dogs grapes? Or why they have no interest in them anyway? Grapes can cause an acute renal failure in dogs when ingested, which is essentially a form of kidney failure. What's curious, though, is that grapes are only toxic to dogs. This is a fabulous example of how some plants can contain toxins that only affect certain species. This is why the list of poisonous plants continue to grow and become more complex and arguable. This is why, of utmost importance, we learn about a wide variety of toxic plants. The professor pauses, allowing his students to write down their notes. Right then, let's briefly discuss the use of poisonous plants in magic. I know some of you may be familiar with a couple of poisonous plants that have magical uses. Would anyone want to care to name one? No worries.
Sage.
Sage, indeed, absolutely. Even perhaps belladonna, death's herb, whale, the witch's berry, deadly nightshade, whichever name you use for it. Belladonna is highly poisonous. Its primary function in the magical world is in potions, as you probably could assume. It's also a key ingredient in a product called witch's flying ointment. The seed of a belladonna plant is purple, so please be careful if you find yourself working with a purple seed in your alchemy class. He laughs. Belladonna is also a wonderful example of how magic often works in our favor. Just because a plant is poisonous in one form doesn't mean it can't be consumed or used in another. The brewing process of potions is one of the magical transformations that happens. In the end, I do encourage you to be careful about any toxic plant, but don't undermine its usefulness. At the back of the room, Jupiter raises her hand while her other hand simultaneously scrawls down more notes. She looks up at the professor expectantly. Yes, Miss Fade? Professor Thornlight calls to your roommate. Is there a way to recognize if plants are toxic? Or is our only hope to have learned it so? She says, running a hand through her hair as she finishes her notes and sets her quill down. Excellent question. While studying images and lengthy research is certainly the best way to learn about poisonous plants, I can give you a few pointers. First, never under any circumstance, I might add, touch or ingest a plant without noting what it is. This is a disaster waiting to happen. If it's necessary to handle an unknown plant, exercising extreme caution and use gloves to deal with the specimen. Additionally, never burn an unknown plant which may release harmful chemicals. He speaks as he notes the time that the sundial displays in the back corner of the greenhouse. Oh, well, we're nearly out of time, but please also take note that if you are foraging for plants, avoid any plants that have a milky or discolored sap, and anything with thorns. This is not a comprehensive list, mind you, but a good start. Students begin to write down that last bit of information as Professor Thornlight smiles, flicking his ivy wand at the board lazily. Homework questions are on the board and will be due by next class. If you have any questions, feel free to come and ask me. I will see you all in the next class, and I hope you all have a lovely evening.
Oh, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is
I
going to
feel
be
like this
class.
definitely not my strong suit.
I think it's interesting. I mean, we need to know this stuff, and part of potions and alchemy is knowing these plants, so I don't know. I like it. And the teacher is cute.
The teacher's very cute. Makes me miss my lover back home.
Your lover?
Tell more, spill the tea, Elizie.
Oh, you know, we've only known each other since we were kids, but it's no big deal.
No big deal.
Come on now.
I mean, I just wish that they would have come with me on this grand journey, but it's okay. I don't really want to talk about it right now.
Hey, understandably so. Keep your secrets then. Well, I am tuckered out for this evening. I'm going to go try to collect some ingredients for alchemy. Yep.
Well, this is a good place to do it.
Yeah, and I'm studying alchemy too.
Oh, you are really?
Mm-hmm. Alchemy and potions.
That's really cool. Sorry I'm not in your potions class.
That's okay.
But the ingredients here in the greenhouses aren't for student use, just in education. If you want to find any ingredients, you might want to try down an Esther Hollow if you've got the coin, but you can also try the Witchwood. There's a place called the Grove that has a lot of ingredients for you.
Do you really
But-
think they'd mind if we just took a little bit out of here?
I
I think
mean,
you're already skating on thin ice. You might want to be careful.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. No, you're right. You're totally
Well,
right.
For our homework for alchemy, we were supposed to get the ingredients for the health potion.
Yeah,
That's true.
we should go
maybe-
to the Grove and see
you
if we can
guys are
find
learning about healing potions. All we have are daydream potions in my class.
What kind of potion?
Daydream,
Oh, what does that do?
well, it kind of puts you into a state of euphoria for like an hour or so.
Why would
No,
they be different? I thought we were both first years.
So it's kind of like honeymead?
A little bit like honeymead, just no magical side effects of honeymead besides the occasional hangover you drink too much. We must be on a different course curriculum than if you guys are studying healing potions.
Maybe it's because you took summer classes, but I would think you'd be further ahead than us.
If I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure I'm in the remedial class.
Yikes.
remedial. Why?
Potions and I are just not good.
Oh,
Well, maybe I could help you study. I have a knack for them. I always have.
You say that, but didn't you get kicked out?
Not because I'm not good at potions, only because of Evelyn Beauclair
Oh,
The
right.
bitches.
and maybe, my mouth. But
All right. Well, if we can subside the bitchcraft and fuckery that she's got going on, maybe we can study together.
yeah, I think we should definitely do that.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna turn in for the evening. I'll see you back at the room.
Sure. I
Yeah.
think I have an elective after this.
Oh, your electives are not until second semester.
Aw, I was excited about that.
Your first semester is a lot of core classes, gen eds.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess that makes sense. All right.
Is
Well,
astronomy next semester too?
Is what?
Astronomy?
Astronomy is not an elective. It's a required course, although you only will have it once a week. It's usually dark outside, so it's going to be a late class. I have mine on Fridays.
Oh, okay, cool.
okay. Well, that makes sense. Thank you.
Well,
Of course.
we'll see you later, Jupiter.
See ya, and may the weave guide you.
May the weave guide you.
And with you.
And she trots off as you guys head back into the castle proper.
well, now we do have time to grab the ingredients before detention at 9 o'clock. So we could grab the ingredients, go study what that thing was in the room, and then do our detention in the library since we'll be there.
Sounds good to me.
Let's do that.
As you kind of find yourselves through the castle, you realize that this place is a lot crazier than what you thought. Some steps might disappear on every third one. Different hallways lead to different classrooms on different days. It's like a maze getting through it all. Before you reach the main hall again, you realize that it's about 30 minutes before your detention.
Oh,
Oh,
Well,
got lost again.
I guess we better head to detention before we're late to that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's get to the
but-
library.
But wait, it's going to be really bad tomorrow if we don't have our homework done.
We don't have alchemy tomorrow, though.
You don't?
No, I don't. I have history of magic.
I have
Um,
history of
Okay.
magic too.
And plus, I'm going to start some of my magical beginning homework tonight since we have it tomorrow. But I'm sure that if we have time tomorrow, we can get the ingredients then.
Yeah, we have
Okay.
time after our last class.
Okay. Well, let's get to detention, I guess. Apparently, I have 2 more.
The end of the day would normally be exciting for most students, but for you all, it's time for detention. You enter the sprawling library, and it takes you a moment to appreciate your surroundings. You peruse its shelves of almost endless corridors and hallways as books line line the walls and create corridors of themselves. Some books flap overhead like birds, sticking themselves in different spots. But you do realize that toward the back of the library, you see a boy with a stack of books on a trolley and seems to be the only student in the library at this time of night.
Excuse me.
The boy, he like set the book down and he like looks over and then he like looks behind him to see if anyone's like behind him, and then he goes, are you talking to me?
Yes, of course. I was wondering if you could tell us where the librarian is.
Oh, and he counts. You are the 5 who are serving detention tonight, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sadly, yes.
Oh, Madam Violet, she told me to tell you guys that you'll be restocking the shelves, section 1300 to 1350.
Okay, is this a stack of books?
Yeah, it is. And then he points over to the section 1300 to 1350. 50 lines doesn't sound too bad until you realize that extends almost just down the library like a long corridor. There are trolleys all around the corridors if you want to start. Don't forget, no magic. Sorry.
No
Yes, of course.
magic.
Yeah, it would defeat the
Punishment.
purpose of serving a detention.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Why?
You seem nervous. Are you afraid?
I'm just really nervous around a lot of people.
Why?
It's just kind of a thing that I have, a social anxiety.
Well, what's your name?
Eliot.
Oh, well, I'm Cadence. Now you don't have to be nervous anymore.
Hi, Cadence. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. I'm Maristela. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Maristela.
I'm Elizie. Nice to meet you.
It's the pleasure's all mine.
Well, we better get to work.
Yep. Yeah. Go stock these shelves. All right.
Oh, thank you, Eliot. My name is Maeve. I'm gonna take that trolley down there.
Oh, okay. If you need anything, just holler. I'll be here probably for a while.
Quick question: how late is the library open tonight?
Technically it closes at 8:30.
So we're here because of the detention. Do you think they would be willing to let us stay a few minutes later?
I mean, the detention's all yours as long as it gets done tonight. And I don't see why not.
Thank you. I want to do some research.
Oh, what are you researching?
Well, particularly creatures. I'm actually quite curious about them.
Oh, creatures? What kind?
Well, I have heard from stories, scary stories, that there are shadowy creatures, and I just want to look them up.
I love stories. What type are you talking about? Hinds, demons, shadow figures, blots,
Well,
hide
it
behind
was
trolleys, followers,
Like a follower, but spookier.
like a follower but spookier.
think of like a shadowy, smoky. We read about it in the story, but it never named what kind of creature it was. So we wanted to do some research, curiosity.
In the story, it like caused a chill and zipped around the walls and hid behind a mirror and then burst out.
Hold on, you said chills?
Uh-huh.
Was it more smoky or was it more like liquid?
Smoky.
Oh.
But it was just a story.
Okay. Well, be careful when researching that particular creature.
Why is
Why?
that?
Because when you get lost in these books, sometimes they can, you get all caught up in the reading and you don't realize how long you've been reading it, and you're just, get caught up in a subject, and then you're all of a sudden it's 4 a.m. and you have class in 2 hours.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Oh, you like to read?
I love to read.
Have you read Figment's part 2 of Imagination?
Probably. Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
How Fascinating.
I love to read about imagination, and I love to read about nature, and I love to read about potions and alchemy. I like to read a lot.
So then you definitely heard about the Petrubi's third law of elemental, like, potioneering.
DM, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Actually,
course.
roll an Arcana check.
Ooh, okay.
Or history check.
History. 7.
Yeah, she probably has not heard of some of those texts that he listed off.
I mean, I think that those were maybe like credited in some of the books I've read, but I don't know those exact titles. But I do read a lot.
Yeah, her reading is fundamental sometimes, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, it's the only thing that kept me sane back home.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Summer Elmshire. Well, outside of it a little bit, but basically.
I've read about Shemaram. Beautiful pastures, meadows, farms, agricultural front.
Real peaceful. Yep, that's what they say.
Cool.
That didn't seem genuine. Is it not peaceful, Cadence?
Mm, uh, well, I guess it's a little bit of a closed off society. It can be kind of oppressive, I think, if you don't want to live that way.
Interesting. You'll have to tell us more about that later.
I mean, I'm a pretty open book, but yeah,
Is that
I
why
mean,
you're Wakefield?
well, I've always wanted to come to Wakefield.
As you all are kind of like stacking books, putting them in their orders and things like that, Maeve, you pick up a dusty old tome, and then all of a sudden it shoots out of your hand and flies up in the air.
She looks over at Eliot. She's like, I promise I did not do that.
Oh no, it's okay. Some books are enchanted and they like to fly away. Hold on. And he goes to cast a spell, but the magic like shoots off away from it as the book like wraps a corner. Listen. If we can go get that book back before like Madame Violet like comes back and realizes that we're gone, I can put in a good word for you and say that it's all done.
Done and done.
Oh, but
But we have
won't they
all
get in
this.
trouble?
Don't
we
worry
don't
about
want-
it. Don't worry about it. Trust me. I probably am going to check out half these books anyways.
Hey, I could use a good word put in. Please and thank you.
Absolutely. Madame Violet's kind of like my only friend, and she's a ghost, so like that's my track record.
Well, hey, you
She's
have
a
us now.
ghost.
Yeah, she's a ghost. She's like dead for hundreds of years and knows a lot about stuff.
How interesting. I bet she knows a lot about history.
Oh, absolutely. Just about everything. But hey, the book is getting away.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And Maeve will take off towards the book.
So does Elsie.
So does
Cadence,
Maristela.
Cadence too, but she'll say to Eliot, "We'll be your friends."
You just like see him like smile like and blush and then continue running off with you guys. You follow the flapping book through the hallways of the library, through winding bookcases and corridors, until you reach a hall with a wooden door. And or not wooden door, I'm sorry. It's a stone door. And an eeriness about it kind of fills the room as it almost chills you as you stare at it.
Where does that go?
You see the book slide like skimmer its way underneath and inside of the room.
Oh no.
Ugh. Well, that was weird.
Oh, I guess
do we
we
get
better
in?
get to work.
But what's in there?
Don't know, don't care.
Well,
Well,
the
I
book
wanna
is. We need to
know.
get it.
I
I've
want to
nev-
know.
I've never seen this part of the library before.
Cadence will walk right up to the door.
Be careful.
You feel a horrible negative presence as you approach, almost like you get nauseous the closer you get to it.
She slows down and then takes a couple steps back.
How interesting that such a negative place is within the school. We are still in the school, right?
The school likes to change from time to time, different corridors, different rooms, things like that. But I've scoured probably every inch of the library, and I've never come across this place before.
So it like revealed itself to us.
Reveal.
Well, you said it changes. So, and the school knows who's within it.
Yeah. And then he like goes to like pull out his wand. He's like, "Oh, it must have backfired when I shot off that spell back in the library."
What spell?
Does anyone know the revealing spell?
Maeve does.
I do. I don't know where my wand is right now.
Well, go on.
Reveleous.
The magic like dissipates into the door, and two torches on either side of it in a violent purple light, aflame, as the door slowly swings open.
Everyone have your wands ready. I
Oh,
don't
I
like
do.
the sense of this place.
On the other side of the door is a chamber with just the strangest of objects. You feel almost a negative energy as you arrive. But you see that the door has found itself on one of the pedestals in the room.
Maeve will rush to the pedestal to grab it. Is it open?
No.
Okay, she runs to go grab it.
As you like pick up the book, you like tuck it away, but just this like almost reverse whispers echoes through the hall. Maeve, you're the only one that hears it.
Did you guys hear that?
No.
What?
Here,
What did you hear?
Eliot steps forward. I heard it too.
What?
I couldn't make out what it said. Did you?
Malistaire.
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 Yeah.
That guy?
You've never heard of him before?
Yes. But why would it? She looks down to see what is the title of this book that flew away.
There's no title on it.
Even if she opens it up.
It's just a random textbook.
Okay.
Yeah, Malistaire. There was a student over 450 years ago that kind of went crazy, experimenting on other students and all kinds of horrible stuff. He had a normal elven name, but he went by Malistaire. He had a following of people called the Grimsmen who carried out his dark deeds. They were all made up of sorts of bad people and creatures. People at the school started to go missing, along with one of the professors, and that alerted the council and the magisterium. The school expelled him, but when they got to his room, he was gone with all his things. No one knows where he went, but they say that he learned how to beat death at its own game. His actions during his time were considered the main catalyst for banning of the dark arts across Everas and by the magisterium. His terror created an international panic, though no crimes outside of Oxford were ever found to have been his doing. No one has ever discovered the reason behind Malistaire's killing spree, though most assume it was a backlash to the already growing contention against dark magic. But there are still a few who believe that Malistaire was chasing the secret to the founding energies of dark magi lore.
Dark magic war. That's there. He's not alive still. You don't think, right? I guess.
I mean,
If
this
he's
was
an
over
elf?
450 years ago. Elves don't live that long.
But if he was able to cheat death itself. I don't know. Let's get out of here. This room gives me the creeps.
Yeah, grab the book and let's go.
You all exit the chamber door, and then you find yourself back inside the library. When you turn to look back at the door, it's just another long row of books, almost as if that corridor was never there in the first place. Eliot goes back to the section and stacks a few books on the trolley and picks up his wand. There you are. I'll tell Madame Violet you finished. I don't know what that room was, but I don't think we should go looking for it again.
Agreed.
I don't want to.
Good luck researching your Heim. And
It's
he
a
turns
Heim?
and starts stacking up his books.
She puts back the book that they hunted down, and she's like, "Now stay!" And she taps it with her wand, and she looks around and she starts wandering around the library looking for a book on Heims.
Eliot turns and to answer your question. Yeah, I think what you're talking about is a Heim. You're not going to find anything here in the library about that.
Why not?
A Heim is one of the darkest demons in all of Everas. And they don't keep stuff like that locked up in the school.
But why would that have been in our mirror? Is it still there?
Your
It's-
mirror? There was a Heim here at the school?
No, it was a
No,
story.
no.
It was a story.
What
It was
she's talking about
totally
is totally
fiction.
hypothetical.
It was a book we read, a story, like I said earlier.
Oh. Well, yeah. Okay. What book was that?
The story of the Heim.
in the mirror.
I'm not sure I've read that one.
The Heim in the Mirror by
Roll a deception check.
Oh, no.
Uh,
Oh
Eliot.
no. Oh no, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, forget it.
Maybe we should
A
tell him. Maybe
4.
he can keep a secret.
I'm not sure that book exists. There's
Okay, it
not a lot
really
of
happened. It happened in our dorm. Please help us.
And it
He
can't
sees
be a
through.
powerful demon. We slayed it.
Yeah, in like 2 or 3 hits.
But the thing is, you can't slay a Heim. You can only make it go away, but it'll come back. The only way to get rid of a Heim completely is to lock it in a Grimholde.
A Grimholde?
Oh.
Yeah,
Have one of those.
you don't.
Oh.
It's taken enchantments and years to even produce one.
Do you know where they come from?
No, they're made
Maeve.
By one person or
by those who want to make a Grimholde.
We have a lot of research to do.
But what if we want to make a Grimholde?
Well, it requires a lot of dark magic.
And what if it's just haunting the school?
Or our bedrooms?
If there's a Heim in this school, that can only mean one thing.
What?
Someone here at the school let it in. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
Oh no. Oh.
And there's ending credits.
Oh. I gotta go pee real quick.
Okay. So, questions, comments, concerns, clarifications. How we feeling?
It was good to have Eliot back.
I'm so excited.
that was awesome.
Good.
I'm very
What
excited.
do you think, Sam?